Hello everyone and welcome back to this video on TheCodeBakery. So in this video I'm going to be discussing the USACO 2019 Silver Contest for problem 3, which is called Milk Visits. So if you haven't seen this problem before, I would highly recommend you guys trying it out for yourself before watching this video. And I'll provide the link to the problem statement below in the description so you can check out there. So yeah, I'm just going to go into the solution. So if you haven't read the problem, pause the video or look at the problem at the website. So essentially the problem is we're given a graph problem where we're given these different cows, and each cow is either a like G or H. So I've kind of color coded them here. And basically you're given like some queries that basically says, can you go from one cow to another cow and also visit a cow of this of the color that you're given. So can you go from 1 to 4 and visit an H? So one of the important things to note here is that this is a graph of n nodes and n minus 1 roads, and there are no cycles, and each farm is reachable by another farm. So this states essentially that we're given a tree, and that means that the shortest path from one cow to another cow will always just be like the path if you kind of go down a tree. So like without visiting another node. So we can try a few of these queries and see what happens. So can we go from 1 to 4 and visit an H? Well, the shortest path would be 1, 2, 4. And yeah, all of these are H's, so of course we can visit an H. But if we go from 1 to 4 and try to visit a G, there won't be any G cows right here. So now the other one is 1, 3, so the path would be 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3. And in this case, we visit both G and H. So both of these would be ones or also like yes. And then can we go from 5 to 5 with an H? And the answer is no, because 5 is a G. So it might be like kind of confusing to see what to do here, because like we can't exactly do like each path. So for each query, find the correct path, because we're given that there can be n to the 5th nodes or 10 to the 5th nodes, and there can also be 10 to the 5th friends that we need to help. So that would just take too long. So we would have to find for each like query if there's a quick way to determine whether it's yes or no. And yeah, the main thing is only determining whether it's like a yes or no. We don't necessarily need to find out how exactly we're going to solve this problem. So we can actually see that, like, for example, here's a interesting thing to note. In this group right here, if I want to go from any cow in this group to any other cow in this group, I will only be met with H's. I can't get a G. And similarly, in these two groups right here, you can only get a G. You can't get an H. Although in these groups, like, they're only of size 1. So like I can like label each of these groups 1, 2, 3. And the important thing to note here is that if I go from any group to any other group, I am bound to meet each of the different cows. So I'm bound to meet a G and I'm bound to meet an H. Because if they were not in the same group, then that means that like we would kind of like be crossing like another type of cow. So, and you can see like if I had like another path right here, and this would be like if, for example, if it was an H like that, then this would be another group right here. And if this were a G like this, then this group right here would extend to get both the 3 and the 6. So now the question becomes like, okay, so we've labeled these different groups right now. Then how do we determine whether it can meet the required like query, like what the query specifies? And yeah, the main thing is if these cows are in different groups, that means that we can definitely meet the query that it wants. So like we can definitely meet both G and H. If they're both in the same group, like this one, we just determine like which group it is and like what cow is this group, and then if it's the same cow that the query is looking for, we say yes, or else we'll say no. So essentially what we have is kind of like an array for each cow, which group it belongs to. So here it would be 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. And here we can essentially say for each query, look at the 2 cows, look at their numbers, and then implement the logic that we just went over. And you can easily find the groups by essentially doing a breadth first search for each of these. So like for each of these, I'll kind of like try to simulate it. So we start with the first cow and we say, okay, we're an H right here. Is this cow right here an H? No, it isn't, so we don't add it to our like set. Now we go to its other child, 2, and we say, is this an H? Yes, it is. So we add it to like our kind of like temporary set. Now we go to 2. So is 3 an H? Nope. Is 4 an H? Yep. So we kind of add that to our temporary group. And then at 4, we look at its children. It would go back to 2, but we shouldn't add 2 because we already visited it. So you can see here, like, these are the cows that are part of this group. And you kind of just do this for all of the cows. So yeah, I'll provide my code in the link below so you guys can check that out. Thanks for watching this video on the Code Bakery, and I hope that you guys can watch other videos too. So thanks and goodbye.